Do you love your country? Do you like to see it being a safer, nicer, overall having a better life? Well, of course you do. And you think that this is how the job that requires a president. And of course, you're right. Having the president, or being the president, is the easiest way to improve your life conditions, your country's life conditions, security, corruption, poverty. You can eliminate them if you are president. But as you may imagine, it's really hard to become or be the president. It requires a lot of steel, patriotism as no one has ever seen, and many other traits that a normal citizen doesn't have. But how can you, a normal citizen with no experience in politics, law, or anything else, can be the first one to set the first stones to rebuild your nation from the ashes? Well, the first one is honesty and responsibility. Imagine, a policeman stops you because you cross a red light. Well, normally he will give you a ticket. But let's imagine that you or the officer wants a bribe. You give the officer money and you are the first chain of the big corruption that isolates that makes your country suffer. Well, how can you be the one who does this? Isn't the police officer's responsibility? Well, yes, but he grew in the same society as you. So if it's normal for you to give a police officer a bribe, if you know it's wrong, but you still do it because who will stop you? Well, the police officer thinks the same as you. Politicians, all of them, they have this little thing that they grow in the same exact society, maybe in the same neighborhood as you do. So, if your society is corrupt, your policemen, your politicians will also be very, very corrupt. The next one is think with the head and not with the heart. How can this apply to a nation? You have heard this, but normally for love, for difficult situations. But let's say that if you have to decide something, your nation is the most important thing that you have to decide. So, you have to think of the arguments, how they have managed the country, how they can lead it to be better, instead of saying, oh, I like how his speech said. If you choose rightly, you can make your country grow, just like Singapore did. But if you choose wrong, you may actually just unleash one of the worst things humanity has ever seen, and ask the Germans about it. Well, the next one is something that you may have not heard, but it's stretch a hand. If you stretch a hand for your people, then you are actually contributing to your nation's economy. If they grow, your country grows. It's always like that. You can see the biggest nations have the biggest company, the biggest amount of companies. This is because they give job to their people so that money stays in the country instead of going to a foreign country. Many people think that foreign is better. And yes, maybe, but if you don't give your nation the chance to be better, how can they improve? Also, the foreigners want to improve their nation, not yours. And the third one is act. This is the most important one, because if you let others decide for you, you are never going to achieve anything. If your country is corrupt, if your country has no way of saving themselves just by democracy, then, of course, it's going to remain exactly the same. A good example of this is Latin America. Latin America has remained with the same standards, the same people, for over 200 years. Even though there's something changes, there are never big changes, there are small changes, and the people who have the power are still the same. You can see the revolution, those who tried to change something died, and the old ones returned to power, just with another name. So, if you want to make your nation proud, be a lion. not a lamb. Be the one who takes decisions, be the one who acts, who moves others. Don't just expect you to be saved by maybe a bigger nation, because they're not going to save you. They're going to use you.